All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers, and baby, we are less than a week away from the start of it. And if you've been following this channel all summer, you know where we stand. This is a 10-plus win team. But in today's video, we're going to talk about some things that nobody is really noticing about the Pittsburgh Steelers outside of Pittsburgh Steelers fans, of course. But man, oh man. The hype is building. The hype's been building for quite some time now. I love where Pittsburgh is. They are so deep. This team is absolutely loaded with depth. Offensively, defensively. I want to quickly bring up the trenches, all right? Offensively, this time last season, as far as the offensive line goes, from right now, it's night and day. It's a complete, there's more depth, there's better talent. I love the offensive line. I love what they've done with the offensive line from last season. But defensively, the defensive trenches for Pittsburgh is where I start to lick my chops. Honestly, defensively, all three tiers, Pittsburgh's loaded. They're loaded with talent and they're loaded with depth. But specifically, your defensive line in the trenches, you've got freaking talent. You've got versatility. But more importantly, you have depth. Larry Ogunjobi, Montravius Adams, Cameron Hayward, TJ Watt, Armand Watts, Keanu Benton, DeMarvin Leal, Nick Herbig. These players are going to be a huge deal for Pittsburgh. I mean, obviously that goes without saying, but there's depth in the trenches. And as we know, that is one of the most important things to build when you want to sustain winning and you want to get to winning. Pittsburgh, obviously with Mike Tomlin, just a bunch of winning records. But that defensive trench depth, watch out for it this upcoming season. I mean, you watched out for it last season, but these three tiers, they're perfectly complementary for each other. And we'll talk about that in a second. But before we do, if you guys enjoyed tonight's video, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. We do post a couple of Steelers videos every single week. This is probably going to be the last Steelers video until the first regular season game, just due to clips and all that stuff. So Steelers fans, if you could try and get this video to 500 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. Linebacker room. Dude, the linebacker room is juiced. TJ Watt, Cole Holmcomb, Landon Roberts, the two new additions, 100-plus tackles each. Alex Highsmith, one of the best getting after the quarterback players in the National Football League. That he's 26 years old. He's only been in the league for 3 years. He's coming off a breakout season, 14.5 sacks, 5 forced fumbles. I just want to say this because we've said this on the channel before. Nobody except for Steelers fans, I swear, know who Alex Highsmith is. Obviously, he made teams pay for it last season, but with a healthy TJ Watt and a healthy Alex Highsmith, folks, we're talking about possibly a combined 50 sacks, 30 sacks. I mean, we could be looking at Alex Highsmith, 15 sacks, TJ Watt, at least 15 sacks. We could be looking at 30 sacks from both of those two cats. So you've got talent. You've got clear-cut talent, clear-cut depth at the linebacker position. Quan Alexander was a recent addition to this Pittsburgh Steelers defense, made a name for himself immediately in training camp, immediately in the preseason, and he actually lands a starting gig on this Steelers team. He's been very vocal. All the linebackers have been vocal. Communication is very key, and we'll just throw this in here while we're talking about it. The Pittsburgh Steelers vibes, the aura, the energy, these guys are having a blast. They're having a blast together. They enjoy each other. They like each other. They respect each other. I know these are things that should be obvious. It's not. It's not. You have a freaking 60 people in your locker room every single day. What are the chances everybody likes each other? These guys are professionals. I think this Pittsburgh Steelers aura right now, I think it's genuinely special, and that's why we're cranking out these Steelers video. This feels like a super special team. Quan Alexander's just a great addition, a perfect complementary piece to your already loaded linebacker room. His bread and butter is coverage. This past season with the New York Jets, he played in 17 games, started in 12 of them, 69 tackles. He's a good tackler. He made a Pro Bowler in his third season back in 2017 with Tampa. He had 145 tackles in his second year with Tampa. But this dude can cover. And that linebacker room for the Pittsburgh Steelers, technically you've got TJ Watt, Cole Holmcomb, Landon Roberts, Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig, Quan Alexander, Mark Robinson. Jesus, dude. Jeez. Look at that pop. Look at that zip. All right, so then we go to the final stage of the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, the secondary. They got deeper, they got more talented, and by the way, their secondary was already good. There's the amount of ball hawks on this team is unbelievable. You've got Levi Wallace, you've got Kasi, you've got Fitzpatrick, you've got newcomer coming in, Joey Porter Jr. A lot of hype. That interception in the preseason finale against the Atlanta Falcons, the hype is extremely high for Joey Porter Jr. He's going to make some mistakes. It's going to be rocky at times. He's a rookie. But that's why you've got guys like Patrick Peterson. That's why you've got guys like Chandon Sullivan, Desmond King, to make these guys' jobs easier, complement each other, bring the best out of each other. This defense, dude, I look at like some of these second stringers that are technically, second stringers on the depth chart. Keanu Benton, the rookie, Nick Herbig, the rookie. Both of them had great camps. Both of them had great preseason, specifically Nick Herbig, Quan Alexander, Mark Robinson, Patrick Peterson, Keanu Neal, Chandon Sullivan, Desmond King. Like, these are the Steelers bench players. These are a lot of teams would take any of those players as starters. A majority of teams would take a lot of those defensive players as starters. So defensively, I mean, we're talking 5 to 10. We're talking defensively, statistically, the Steelers will rank between 5 and 10 at worst. This is a lethal, elite, loaded defense. So, we'll touch on the offense. We talked a lot about the offense this season. Jerome Bettis the other day saying Kenny Pickett has the potential to be a superstar. Jaylen Warren, got to keep your eye on. Anthony McFarland Jr., he's slated already as the kick returner. This running back room has some pop. And I know we've talked about this three-headed monster with Najee Harris, Jaylen Warren, Anthony McFarland Jr., so I'll keep it quick. I'll keep it brief. What's a quarterback's best friend outside of a competent offensive line? Who's a quarterback's best friend? The running back room. And the Pittsburgh Steelers have 3 fully capable, fully competent running backs with pop, with zip. They can catch. They can run. They are good on special teams. It's one of, if not the best running back room in the entire National Football League. All right. Speaking of Anthony McFarland Jr., who is your starting kick returner, Calvin Austin III. Calvin Austin III, regardless of what his role or what his production is going to be in technically his rookie season for the Pittsburgh Steelers at the wide receiver position, you're going to hear his name a lot. And you're going to hear his name a freaking lot on special teams. We saw a bunch of impressive punt returns. I've said it on this channel. I'll say it one more time. I give it 6 to 8 weeks before Calvin Austin III runs a punt back. Special teams are so important and they're so critical, and you never realize how important or how drastic special teams is until you either have a good special teams unit or a bad special teams unit. And the Pittsburgh Steelers have a phenomenal special teams room. Anthony McFarland Jr., Calvin Austin III, they're both young, they're both quick, they're both playmakers. All 3 sides, offense, defense, special teams, and even coaching, I'm feeling, even Matt Canada, I'm feeling great about Pittsburgh. So I'm going to give my official prediction here. I'm going 12-5. I'm going 12-5 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we're throwing in a playoff win, of course. I cannot wait to cover the Pittsburgh Steelers this upcoming season. Steelers fans, seriously, you guys are awesome. You have completely blessed and changed my life. We have new clips coming. We've got it all coming. We got you covered. I got you covered over here on this channel. I appreciate your guys' support. Seriously, we can make a whole video on Steelers support. Like, seriously. So thank you guys so much for watching tonight's video. And yeah, I'll see you after the week 1 victory. So hit that like button, hit that sub button. But guys, most importantly, give me your official Steelers win-loss prediction down below.